Greetings and salutations, my fellow Entropians. It's that time for me to tell you what to do. Guys, listen. Tree cutting. I've said it before. I've made a video about this before, but it's buried somewhere in the algorithm, so I make another one. Tree cutting's important. Listen, I'm like level 50 something. What, 53? It says so right there. I'm 53. Okay, tree cutting is important. And I know that there are people out there that are like, well, yeah, I'm going to go out and tree cut, but I'm only going to hit the huge trees. Well, you know, that's fine. I mean, you can do that, but that kind of means that you are not using a skill pill while doing it, right? So you're just going after the huge trees and trying to get that markup. That's fine. I mean, that's a legitimate strategy. I understand. But you're not cutting trees for general profit, okay? You're cutting trees so you can get the skills to actually make some profit. Whenever you go into pew 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 mode and you actually manage to get the loot, you might notice that you get skinning skill, right? Well, whenever you do tree cutting, you get all these side skills that go into your looter, right? And I have a little theory, okay? And it's going to be a little bit wild, but like ever since I've gotten higher in resource gathering, right, which is the primary skill for tree cutting, my loot composition has changed. I am no longer getting a lot of shrapnel, and it's a double-edged sword, right? Getting shrapnel means you get to play longer. But also, whenever you're done playing, if you're not getting loot, right, and your shrapnel is gone, all that stuff has entered into your skills, for the most part, you know? And that's kind of no fun, in a way, right? Let's see, let's move this over, and crunch, 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 crunch. Yeah. Okay. It's no fun when it's time to make another depot, or, God forbid, go sweat again. But when it comes down to tree cutting, you're not doing it for the money, okay? Granted, you can turn some of the smaller stuff into nanocubes and maybe sell that. With the Moonleaf boards, it says it has like a 110 markup, but I can only assume that applies to Toulon. Toulon has a good mission. Crafting butt joints or whatever. And it takes a good amount of long Moonleaf boards, takes wood shavings, and all that other stuff. You know, it takes everything that you've used, and then you craft it, and you get, like, I think, what, coloring skill or texturing skill, something like that. I don't know. But you also get, like, carpentry skill, which goes into texturing, which is a very, very, very lucrative market. I mean, I do textures, bros. Okay, but it's not just about that. Okay, but yes, I mean, you can make some money cutting the trees. But that should not be your priority. Your priority should be getting these skills. These skills are actually totally worth it. But like I said, I'm still in theory craft mode with, does resource gathering really change the composition of your loot? I don't know for sure, but I've seen changes as my looter level has gone up, my skinning skill, you know. I noticed that, you know, I get less shrapnel. But then again, whenever I go fight robots, you know, they drop a lot of shrapnel. Right, and mutants, you know, they oftentimes drop. Well, not really. I mean, when I go fight mutants, I mean, sometimes I get shrapnel, sometimes I get markup loot, you know, like the common stuff. But I don't know. I want to test this even further, so I want to take my resource gathering even higher, just to see what happens. And if I'm right, it just means that tree cutting is even bigger than we thought, okay? Because when you get more markup loot, that means you get to get closer to breaking even, right? Granted, you might not get as much shrapnel, so it might be time to, deposit sooner, or, sell your loot so you can get more peds, so you can buy more ammo. You can do it that way. But tree cutting, I'm thinking is like really huge. I'm over here by Billy's. Okay, this entire area right here is absolutely good on Cali. This is not the best tree cutting place, right? If I want to go and just tree cut for like 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours a day, I'm going to Next Island. That's the best tree cutting place ever. You can argue with me on that, or you can go to hell. Literally on Entropia. Hell's apparently a good place. I've not been tree cutting in hell, but I mean, you can do that. And Cyrene is pretty amazing for tree cutting. Other than that, I mean, there's not too many tree cutting places in the game, right? Other than Billy's, Next Island, they have like 3 good spots, maybe 4 good spots. And I will push Next Island because, that place is great for tree cutting, and that's where I will definitely go, But I haven't really hit up Hell, but it might be a really good spot. But the moral of the story is, I'm really thinking that tree cutting might be a lot huger than we think, especially with that theory that I have. So we're going to test it. We're going to go up a little bit more in resource gathering. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on it. I might actually end up, after tonight's event on Land Area 44, I might go and take the Starfighter 19 up to Next Island and just cut some trees, bros. But if resource gathering is what I think it might be, you can sell your resource gathering skill in an ESI, an empty skill implant. Put it in there, get the resource gathering skill, and then other people might actually buy it. But I'm not sure, and that's why I want to continue testing. Just because I think it's really important. Even if it doesn't work out the way I think it works out, it's still very important skills that you're getting. These skills are going to allow you to do so much more in the game. Like, dead ass. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Whenever we go off, whenever we go off and do kills this creature, I'm just going to tell you right now, I got most of that skill to be able to even do that from tree cutting, okay? Because it affects your levels, that your scanning levels. So your scanning levels will go up because you're getting like stuff like analysis and stuff like that. So that's one thing. But yeah, if you're tree cutting just for that reason, that's pretty dirty. But no, it does so much more. And granted, nothing is going to beat actual skinning skill for your looter level. Nothing's going to beat, getting robot looter levels and stuff like that, like salvaging and scavenging and all these other things. Nothing beats actually killing the mob, but these side skills are absolutely amazing. And it will raise everything. Like a lot of things. It will raise a lot of things, and I think that that's absolutely cool. And don't sit here and be like, well, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Well, that's where you're tripping, because you're not doing this for your TT return. You're doing this as a means to get skill, and those skills, even the side skills like athletics, right, is going to be huge to sell. Analysis is going to be huge to sell. Okay, and if I'm right, resource gathering might actually be huge to sell. But I don't know, man. I do know that some of those skills are pretty nice, analysis especially, because a lot of people they seem to think that you only get analysis off these big codex drops, so you should always pick analysis. And I'm over here like, yo, bro, I've just cut trees for like 4 months, bro, and I don't really need to pick that analysis skill. I don't need to, because I know how to get it, and it's tree cutting. So a lot of people don't tree cut, you know, and they really should. Especially low depot players. If you can get a hold of like a good running budget of like maybe $100, 1,000 ped, get a hold of some of that and just go to town. You will get some returns, but when you're starting out, listen, when you're starting out, like, you're always going to pay that gatekeeper, okay? And that's just the nature of the beast of Entropia. When you're lower level, you pay the gatekeeper. You have to. But once you get into a good spot where your TT returns on your resource collecting is decent enough, you know, you're not losing too much, but you are losing. You're always going to lose that little bit. That's the rule. But that little bit is going into your skills, okay? And if you're going to be doing something like this, might I recommend some 100% skill juice? Go buy it. I know it might be expensive a little bit, but the skills are just amazing. They are. I mean, I'm doing it, and it's not a huge cost. And the more you do it, the better the cost. And see, this is why I don't like tree cutting here at Billy's. You just get mobbed by like mobs. It's crazy, but I mean, I still kind of want to kill these things. Like, this is like the only spot I really know that they're at, other than like Atlas Haven or whatever. Here we go. But if you want some more tips on this, get a reload ring, right? Let's get a reload ring, because then you're going to be able to pull just so much more from a tree. Because if I'm not mistaken, and it just feels like this, these trees, I don't think that they deactivate, right? I don't think that they deactivate based off of how many times you pull. I think they just deactivate on its own set timer. So if you can like get a few extra hits on it before it goes away, you're good. And every single hit that you get on it is a potential skill gain, which is good, especially if you're using a skill pill. And you definitely want to go to where there is a lot of trees, and that's why I say Next Island is amazing, especially in the northeast corner by the sharks. And you'll do good. But I mean, comments down below. What do you think about this theory? And if you don't have a high enough resource gatherer skill, and you want to sit there and call it BS, you might have to test that out. I'm not just trying to get people to just start tree cutting like crazy, because I will be more than happy to just have the entire forest to myself, so I don't have to worry about having to run around with a 100% skill pill and not find any trees, right? But let me tell you how important it really is, and if I'm right, it's even more important than we all thought it was. But don't take it like this is 100%, because, you know, Mindark has not said anything about it. They just said that, yeah, if you do your looter level, you get, you know, a higher TT return for your long run. Right? That's what they said. They never mentioned once resource gathering. And if it's true, if resource gathering actually affects your loot while hunting, or your loot while space mining, or maybe even your loot while going out and mining in some strange way, then yeah, just do it. But then again, even if I'm wrong about that, it's still a great way to get these skills. Look, just 2 pops of analysis, got 2 pops of genetics, some geology, some botany, some athletics, alertness. Yeah, big deal. These are good skills, and those skills are actually probably worth a little bit of money if you sell them. But I'm not a big skill seller. I would rather just collect even further skills and just hold on to them because they go into everything, and I like that. So before I just start harping on just the same thing over and over, man, dude, you don't really have too much to lose. All of it's going to go into your skills. Make sure you're using a skill pill. It's a big deal, man. Like, a lot of people have talked about it, and they're just talking about the fact that it raises your looter level, but it might do more than that. So I don't know. It's up to you to maybe, I don't know, find out if this is true or not. Yeah, as we all know, I'm not the world's best person when it comes down to actually laying down the truth, but it just feels like this is the truth. So you take it with a grain of salt. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't feel like I am. So it is what it is. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you make them comments down below, especially with this controversial theory I have. Yeah, until next time, like, share, and subscribe. Peace.